Let me see. I gotta mute this other stuff here. Mute server. Okay. About 2 years, not very long. All right. Okay. Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Scotty will show up in 3 more minutes.
Yeah, he probably will, but here we go, guys. Live. We are live here at the Alien Factory podcast. This is episode number 15. You're here with the regular cast and crew, and that is the Admiral, Tracy Rumschlag. Admiral, how you doing?
Drop your beer, grab your gear. The Admiral's here. Sorry we took off last week, Mike. I think you were sick. Hope you're feeling better.
Anyways, I'm starting to feel a bit better.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we missed a week. We missed you. So anyways, we're back. But yeah, last week I went to a race, so it worked out good. I was out of town for a little bit, so we didn't have to break any laws to get back home. But yeah, other than that, it's been pretty uneventful. Haven't did too much iRacing this week. Been laying low. Busy at the school trying to get it ready to open up here in another couple weeks. So yeah, that's what we've been doing anyways.
Well, Trace, glad you're here tonight. And we are moving on. We got the man, the myth, the legend himself, also known as the number one team driver, Mr. Robert Cook.
You know I don't like the number one team driver. Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of racing to be open, and I think I did 4. I think one was halfway decent. The other ones I got wrecked out, damaged a little bit.
Well, Robert, we'll get into the Be Open stuff here in just a second, but I want to introduce our special guest tonight, and that is Bob Hogue. I was about to say Bob Hogue. Bob Hogue.
You did.
Yeah, creator of Buster's Corner. He's here with us tonight as our special guest participating in the podcast. Bob, how you doing tonight?
Good. Thanks for having me, guys.
No problem. And I like the background there. You don't need one of the virtual backgrounds. You got the physical background right there behind you, Buster's Corner.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Well, let's talk a little bit as we start out here about racing, about our week, what's been happening. Robert, you started talking about Be Open there, man. What's been going on this week in the races? I've been sick and hadn't been feeling well, and I just really set out to today. I hadn't even logged into iRacing since we broadcasted the Strength of Field race last Monday night this week. So I'm kind of out of it this week. Why don't you tell me what's been going on, Robert?
Well, it sounds like to me you just told a fib. But anyway, like I said earlier, I did think I had one decent race, and the rest of them I lost by, I think altogether 200 points. So it really wasn't all that bad racing. I just didn't finish as well as I should have. The racing's been good though. It was hard, get back in the back area, and sometimes my car kind of settled down. About 30 laps in is when my car picked up, but by that time we'll get in a wreck or something will happen.
Yeah, but that wasn't a fib, man. I ran that race earlier today, but that was, until today, I hadn't even logged into iRacing since Monday night. So, man, I know that we've been struggling a bit this week. It's been a little tough in Michigan. I talked to you guys a couple times during the week and talked to Scotty. Scotty did decent, though. He probably did the best of all of us this week. It's another week kind of like his Kansas and Kentucky weeks where he's doing something right, so I'm happy for him. Maybe he'll join us here in a little bit. Trace, how's your week been?
Not bad, but I'm going to tell you what, getting back to Monday night, the Strength of Field race that we cover, the Area 51 Alien Factory.
Absolutely.
Broadcast that we do on Monday nights at 8:00 for the Strength of Field. I had a couple people reach out to us, and they really enjoy the broadcast. They enjoy what we do as broadcasters, trying to cover that stuff. And I know that the racers have been stopping by after the races, taking interviews, stuff like that. And they've been enjoying the coverage as well, the exposure that they get. So I've had a lot of positive feedback from some of our viewers reaching out to let us know that they enjoy that kind of thing, and they're hoping that we can do some more of that as well. So that was one nice thing that we had this week. And that's it. Other than that, it's been pretty uneventful. Did a sprint car race today just for something to do, nothing real exciting. Other than that, just laying low, waiting to do the show tonight.
So I was having a little technical difficulty there. My earphones went dead. I forgot to charge them before the race. I use these little earbuds instead of my big headset, but I think I'm good to go now as long as y'all can hear me. I got you coming through my speakers, so
yeah, we got you. But hey, it wouldn't be that podcast if it wasn't for something technical, right?
Yeah, it happens. But well, I'll tell you, that's good to hear. I like I'll tell you about the only experience I've had this week. And listen, when I say this with all love and respect towards Ken, our buddy Ken Byron. I like him a lot, and I'm not mad at him or nothing or anything like that. But listen, I want to tell you what happened. So I go sit down. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try to get a few championship points here this week since I haven't raced any, and I'm going to go race the 8 o'clock race, hoping to be a higher strength of field. I was a 7 car, wasn't bad. Bruno was in there, Nuno, Eduardo, a lot of the, there was some I rating in there. And I was like, well, I'll get in there and see if I can get some championship points. So I get in, and obviously Robert's going to tell you I hadn't practiced much, which is cool. I didn't even, I ran some
Nothing's
practice
changed
laps during the thing. And then I didn't qualify, and I stayed at the back to start out. So in case I did something stupid, I wouldn't hurt nobody. And I get in there and we run like 4 laps, and I get a message, your water temp's hot. And I'm like, okay. And so there's a caution, some guys wreck or whatever, and there's a caution, and we slow down. And I even go into the pits and hop out of the car and turn my audio up in the settings while we're under caution, because again, I hadn't been in iRacing since the strength of field race and hadn't ran any races this week. So my audio was down a little bit, where I turn it down during the live broadcast for the strength of field race. And I turn it up, get back out on the track, and we go green on like, I don't know, lap 6 or 7, maybe lap 7. And on lap 12, I blew up. Like my engine just blew.
Lap 12. Wow, you got nothing out of it.
I know. And I'm thinking, man, and all I did was I earlier in the week, when I thought I was going to race more, before I just felt kind of crappy and sick and stuff. I mean, I've been sick for like 3 weeks, but I thought I'd race more, but I didn't. We went to Kings Island this week on a little family vacation. Even though I've been sick, we went ahead and went, and because we had it scheduled and planned. And I was tired since I was sick. I got real tired from the Kings Island trip. Kings Island is down in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's a big roller coaster theme park. If any of you guys don't know what that is,
I did not know
you guys watching. Yeah. And so anyway, so I got back and just was tired. I was sick to begin with, and I was run down, and that we were there for 2 days, and it was like 90-degree weather, and that made me even more run down. So anyway, so I purchased Ryko earlier in the week, and then when I went on the trip, came back, didn't feel good again because of going on that trip and stuff. I didn't run any races. So they've already had like version 6 of their set out. So they've done some updates to it this week. Well, I pop in version 6, the latest update, right out of the box, and run it and blow up after 5 laps of green flag racing. And I'm thinking, man, like, look, I that's a first for me since I've been on iRacing, getting a purchase set up and blowing up in 5 laps because your engine gets too hot. I don't know what was going on there. I don't know if they had anybody else complain about it, but I'm just throwing that out there. I praise people when praise is warranted. Like I always purchase Ryko sets for all the road racing I do. I think they're the best as far as the purchase setups go on road racing. I've never found anybody to be better as far as selling sets for road racing. And I always say that they do a lot of stuff outside the box, but this week I'd call that a fail.
Too bad it wasn't
loaded up, going 5 laps and your engine blowing. I gotta call this week a fail, man. So anyway, that's been my experience.
They should have put that in the notes, huh? Watch your tape.
Yeah. What's the theme of the show? Always check the notes.
I did. There was even some notes about adjustment of the track bar if you get too tight or whatever. I checked them. Always check the notes, but it's like. Anyway, it's like, wow, man. So yeah, I'd mark that up as a fail. Maybe they built it on a really cold temp one day or something and didn't realize that, there'd be hotter temps and it might blow. I don't know.
How much tape did they have on it?
70%, which Robert said was really high for this week. He said most people were running mid-60s.
Okay.
So yeah, the tape was a bit high. And if I would have practiced or ran some races, as Robert pointed out, I would have known that was a bit high.
At least got in the practice room and ran 10 laps.
Yeah, I would at least ran telemetry.
Then I could have blown up in practice instead of blowing up in the race.
Yeah.
Oh, don't you always hate it when the guy comes into the lobby and goes, I've never been to this track before. How's this work? So you were that guy. You were that guy.
Well, yeah, that's what Robert says. Right? I'm that guy.
Nobody likes that guy.
Well, but I'm not that. Here's what I do. Like, if first of all, I've been in iRacing for a few years now, so I've ran thousands of laps at Michigan to begin with already. And 2, I didn't qualify, so I would start at the back. So if I did something stupid, it wouldn't hurt nobody else. Like
blow up.
Yeah. But anyway, but if I do something like that, like going to race without practice, I just don't qualify and start in the back and chill out for the first, 4, 5, 6 laps till I get the feel of it better. So I'm not stupid. I don't try to qualify at the front without having any laps in and then go out and wreck the whole field. I mean, that's kind of dumb, but I'm with you. I'm that guy this week. Robert loves to point that out. He always brings it up on the Bob, every time that I do something like that, he brings it up on the podcast and asks how much practice I had and blah, 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 blah. Because we preach practice to everybody, and I'm the one that violates what we preach all the time.
At some point in your iRacing career, you're going to be that guy.
Yeah.
One way or another, for something. That guy.
Yeah, we all been there.
Except Robert. Robert practices.
Oh, I've been there. I've been there, though.
Robert practices like crazy and runs AI races, and like he's probably practices more than anybody on the team. But anyway, let's
Ken's busting your chops over in the chat channel.
Yeah.
You knew that was coming.
There you go.
You know that was coming.
I knew it wouldn't take long.
I knew it probably would. Yeah, Ken, I don't know what the ambient air temperature was.
He wasn't there long enough, Ken. He wasn't there long enough.
Yeah, I wasn't in the race long enough to know.
He got in the car, started his motor up, and went.
I didn't even look at what the track temp was. I wasn't in there long enough to know. Again, that's probably
his wife clicked on the join button for the server.
I was barely able to.
How far away he was.
Well, how was the handling before it blew up, Mike?
Well, handled great. Yeah, it handled great, and I gained like 6 positions in like 4 or 5 laps. The speed wasn't the problem.
Well, of course not. With 70% tape, I guess you're moving on.
Yeah, Ken, I don't know. Here's the other thing. It may have been some kind of weird iRacing fluke or something. Like I don't know.
It wasn't.
Like, I'm not busting on you, Ken, at all. Like I'm really not.
Was the front end tight with that much tape on it? Was the front end kind of tight in the corners?
Yeah,
all taped up like that?
No, it felt good. Set felt good. I gained like 5 or 6 positions. Like I wasn't, there was no issue there. It was just all of a sudden, and it really, it only blinked one time. Like it blinked once.
But it stayed red. It just blinked one time and just stayed red, right?
I don't think so. I honestly, I don't think that it stayed red. I think it went off in the turn, and it may have come on a second time. I don't know. I don't think so. I only remember it's on YouTube. You can go back and watch my YouTube video and watch all of it. And also, Ken, if Ken's still watching, go back and watch my YouTube video. It's only like 15 minutes long. And that was from practice to qualifying the race. But I got that. I keep those apps up. I keep those Race Lab apps up, and one of my digital readouts there in my headset is the track temp. So I know that's not ambient air temp like you're asking about, Ken, but it's the air, but it's at least it's track temp, and so you can probably go back to my video and see exactly what the track temp was.
I think Ken needs to ask you what gear you were in. Ask him what gear he was in.
He never got it out of
it was in second gear, full throttle.
Looking at Ken's chat channel over there. Everybody else can do it.
Well, I know over the weekend.
Ken's tearing you up. Ken is tearing you up.
Cody says you're going too fast.
Yeah, you guys need to follow the chat. This is hilarious. Cody Trelindi, our buddy, just says he says you were just going too fast, Mike. I wish I had that.
Wait till the tires fall off a little bit,
Yeah.
Well, I know when we were practicing over the weekend, mine was flashing quite a bit, but I was ignoring it, and then after a while, of course, where speed slows down and the blinking went away, and I was running 67% tape. But I guess I slowed down enough that it quits blinking after a while. But I never had an issue with it. I ran 67 all week. I never had an issue with it getting hot or blowing up at all. But I guess my foot is not as heavy as yours, Mikey.
Too funny.
Mikey's replying.
Yeah, I just told Cody I'm not as fast as he is. I'm not, man. Cody is fasty fast. So anyways, let's that's all some fun. That's all fun and good conversation. But Trace, I want to turn things over to you. You like to do the face that the face that runs the place.
That's right.
That.
Anyhow, Bob, here's what we got. We got the face that runs the place. That's you. We're going to learn about you tonight. So the first segment, what we'd like to do is just learn more about you specifically. Tell people what you'd like to know. If you have a racing background, what your interests were to get into sim racing, a little bit about what sim equipment you possibly use, anything like that that you want people to know. This is your part of the podcast. So there you go. Have at it. Bob Hogue. Bob Hogue.
There he goes.
Hey, it makes me think of Boss Hog. You're right over there running
I was
the
going to
face.
give him a Boss
I used to
Hog.
love Boss Hog.
Boss Hog.
That's fair because Jeff, I keep calling Jeff Marconi. And that's because we have an appliance warehouse here called Marconi's Appliance, but he's not Marconi, he's Maconi, right? I think I'm still messing it up.
Yep.
Maconi. There's no R in that name. So I'm not really one to self-gloss, but let's see. So racing, Street Stock Division, we ran that. I got a lot of
So you're talking
brothers.
about real life or on iRacing?
Real life Street Stock.
Awesome. Yeah, I was going to ask to start there. Do you have any? How did
Yeah.
you develop your passion, and do you have any real life racing experience?
I tell you what, we used to race. Let's start here. There's 11 in my family, 8 boys, 3 girls. Okay, so we can have our own racing team. We had started out. We were doing the remote control car, RC cars, and Brother David said, the motor for that RC car is going to cost me $100. I'm going down to the junkyard, and we can run circle track out at Watsonville, California dirt track for 150 and put a car together. Okay, let's go. So that started way back when.
That's
We
funny.
ran
I did RC
asphalt.
cars for a long time.
Yeah.
All the way up to quarter scales. It was fun.
Oh yeah, they're a blast. They're
Yep.
a blast. So here on iRacing, Brother Jim, who recently passed away, I got Brother Bill, Brother Tom, and myself. So there's 4 of us that started this on iRacing. Fun fact, there was a time at Stockton 99 Raceway, asphalt, 3/8 mile asphalt. We had 5 brothers in that race, that 4th of July weekend race. That was cool. That was cool. It's almost half the pits out there. So we started there, and then we got into iRacing. We did all the other online stuff. The NASCAR 2000 or 2003? That was that CD. We did that one.
The papyrus stuff.
Yeah.
Papyrus. Yeah.
Yeah. That was good
Yeah.
stuff back in the day.
Oh,
I mean, that was all there was.
I just remember Motor City Online. Do you guys ever play that one?
No.
Oh, that was a fun game.
No, in fact, this
Motor-
is the first I've ever heard of it. Motor City.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
Motor City Online was before Papyrus 2003. Though they bought the Motor City Online software, and that racing went away. That's when you got Papyrus 2003, and that led up to where we are today.
Yeah, I tell you what, the old back in those days, man, there was Microsoft.
I think it's
Yeah.
2002, not to be mistaken, because I started in Papyrus in 2002.
Yeah, but the software release was
Software was-
2000 and 2003.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what was on the box was the 2003.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so back in those days, Bob, Microsoft came out with some really cool equipment that was new for the time. And I got a couple of them. They had some Sidewinder products. I mean, they came out with the Sidewinder gamepad, and that was prior to like all the Xbox gamepads and stuff. And then they had a whole Sidewinder series, and they had the Sidewinder flight stick, and you could get that with or without force feedback. And I got the one with force feedback, and the computer I had at the time couldn't keep up. Like the force feedback wouldn't be synced up with the game; it would be off. I ended up getting a newer computer later on, and it worked fine at that point. But that was kind of cool. Flight sims with force feedback.
Mhm.
I heard that. He muted it. He muted it before that came
He
out.
did
That's
too.
Oh, dude, my kids are killing me in the background. I got a couple boys over there in the room beside me, and they're just going nuts playing video games.
Shut up!
They sound like us, but over in the room beside me, and I don't want to can't come through. But anyway, and so
Yeah.
like I got a new computer, and it was cool, man. Playing the combat flight sims. Microsoft had some flight sims out at that time, combat flight simulator, which was cool. And the force feedback there. Well, I ended up getting I saw those NASCAR games like you're talking about, Bob, and I got one of those they had a Sidewinder steering wheel, and I got that. So that was like all plastic pedals, it'll clamp on my desk, and I was sitting there at this little like 17-inch monitor, all scooted, hunched up to it with my little Sidewinder wheel and pedals. I remember those days. That was cool.
Yeah,
I never
that's
ran
what it was.
servers, but I raced a lot of AI stuff on there.
Yeah, that's what it was. And then we did if you had once you got the money, you had the mono steering wheel, and you had a red or a black.
I had the red.
There you
I
go.
remember that. Yep.
Yeah, that was the upgrade from what he was talking, the sidewinder he was talking about. If you had the money, you had the red steering wheel.
Yeah, I had a Sidewinder and the TSW. I don't know if you guys remember the
I was
TSW.
poor broken in college back then, Bob, so I didn't have that kind of cash. I barely had the money to scrape together the cheap one.
You had a 17-inch monitor. That's pretty high scale right there at 17 inches.
Yeah, 17-inch CRT.
That probably put off a lot of heat too.
I started out with a Sony Vaio. That's what I started out with.
There you go. There you go.
All right, Bob. So let's get back. Let's focus back on you.
So yeah. So we did that. We grew up with racing, and the family grew up with racing, stuff like that. And that's kind of where you see now, like we got Bill, Tom's on a hiatus. Like I say, if you retire early at the age of 50, there's stuff you can there's better things to go do than sit around and do what we're doing. So he'll be back probably about a year, I figure. So now, Tom's off doing that.
Tom's a tech guru with you guys, right?
Tom's a software engineer. He spent a lot of years with Cisco Systems out in the Bay Area. Cool. See, when Tom first started out, Tom had a cool job. Tom would go to these trade shows, go to a computer trade show, and he would be the guy in the background setting up all the hardware and software and connecting all those computers in that room to one central hub type thing. That's what Tom was doing. But
yeah, I'm with you. I talked to Tom one day over in your channel, and we kind of shared some stories. But yeah, I do IT work for a living, and I even took the Cisco CCNA, Cisco Certified Associate classes in college, and did the Microsoft class. And I've done programming, software development. Then I got into databases and was doing database administration and SQL development for multiple database systems and stuff. And then did business intelligence, like data reporting for a while. And that now I'm a team lead for a group of database administrators. So yeah, I've done all kind of software stuff, mostly databases. But early in a career, I did programming as well. A lot of did some programming too.
So you probably understood half the stuff he was talking about, where I didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Me and him hooked up and chit-chatted for a while, and so for you guys' deal, he's me and him are he's the me of you guys, or I'm the him of you guys, whatever. So yeah, I do the YouTube channel and all the tech stuff for us. So yeah, it was cool talking to your brother Tom, and a lot of the cool stuff that he was doing for you guys and some of the videos he was making.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he was, and then I guess the last couple of years before he left Cisco, that's what his job was doing presentations like that for customers and the big bosses and stuff like that. That's what his thing was. So yeah, he'll be back though, but he'd put a lot of work into the Motec workbook that we have. And that was one of the things when we decided to work on the A Open series was we needed, all we had was Atlas at the time. Actually, when Tom came online, I didn't have nothing. I was trying to build setups with nothing. And then Tom's, okay, let's put Atlas together. Okay, you figure it out. I'll go turn laps and you figure it out. And then he goes, well, we need to get into Motec. I wish we would. Let's go. But I can't help you there, buddy. I can't do that. So Tom was the brains of the operation to get us onto Motec. And then Tom says, well, how come nobody has this? Why can't you just get this from somebody? I said, oh, it's all top secret stuff. No, it ain't no more. Here you go. It's free. Who wants Motec? Well, I can show you how to use it. So, and that was Tom's driving project he had.
Well, it sounds like the same kind of thought process that we have here, me and Trace and stuff, and we've been trying to help out in the B community, the B Open community. And I found that interesting when Tracy first told me about you guys, and we hopped over in your server and talked to you and your brother for a few minutes there about 3 or 4 months ago or so. Mm-hmm. I found it cool because it sounds like we're doing a little bit different route. I mean, you guys are doing your thing. I don't want to give away everything you're doing over there, but you're having more of an open community where we kind of do our team, and then we try to teach people through the videos and help people that way. But at the end result, it's the same thought process, the same concept as, hey, we want to offer a service and help out the community and help people, not let it be, top secret, top super secret information here or anything.
Right. I mean, if you remember when you first got into any of these games that we've been playing over the years, you get in, you go, hey, what do I do?
Simulator.
Yeah.
I think
You
I said
use
it.
simulator, I'll use game.
I use game.
Because I know exactly what this thing is. Been playing it too long. Now, and it's funny when you say simulator, let's talk. Can we talk this? This one cracks me up. Now, I've watched the Coca-Cola 600, the E series, the online game, those big guys. Those guys aren't in simulators. They got a 17-inch monitor and a Sidewinder steering wheel sitting there kicking your butt and winning money. So,
Right. Right. Yeah. I have
Yeah,
a
maybe not a
background in that, so-
Sidewinder, but you'd be surprised how many of them have G29s and G27s.
that's what I mean. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm blown out of proportion, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I
Yeah.
don't see the motion stuff going on, and I might see a couple guys with gloves on, probably because their day job, probably they need to do that. Maybe they're doctors or something, but some of them running less stuff than I'm running. I'm running a triple monitor with the, what's this thing, AccuForce wheel?
Yeah. Sim Experience AccuForce wheel.
Yeah.
You got to get a butt kicker.
We need to get Butt Kicker on here. We'll
We
find out what
do,
they
but
do.
Robert's got their new catchphrase, Bob. It's you need a butt kicker. It makes you regular.
I'm a little back. I'm on my third butt kicker. I love her to death. So she's my
Does it
sweetie.
make you regular too, like it does Robert?
Does she
She's a
stand
good
behind
butt
you and shake
kicker.
the chair?
Just shaking the back of my head. or how's Mike do it?
That's it.
Exactly. You're not the only one that caught that. Cody Trillendi was down the comments and says, Robert, is that how Mike talks to you?
That was too funny. But yeah, I mean, equipment. I mean, it does make a difference, but you need to know where you need the equipment at, type of thing. Let's see what else about me. So we've been doing the racing thing for a long time in the family. It's been a family, with a big family like I got. Oh, we've done everything: gliders, airplanes. Tom and Bill and Dave got into the drones. They were doing that drone racing thing.
Yeah. Oh,
that
wow.
cost them. I didn't get into that one.
Drone
That
racing.
cost
The racing,
that cost
that's
them a
crazy.
fortune. They spent a lot of money on that drone racing stuff, man. I'm sure it was cool. Get the VR headset and you're doing the whole drone thing. Yeah. So
Well, you had
we do
dog
all-
fights too.
I think with telephone poles. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I didn't get into that one, but yeah, we've been in all kinds of stuff like that as a family. And,
Yeah. How did you come up with the name Buster's Corner?
oh, okay, that's a good one. Okay, so on my video channel, Buster's Corner, it originally started. I was doing wood projects out in the garage, making birdhouses and just making stuff in the garage. I got a small wood shop, more of a retirement type of wood shop, if you will. When you retire, that's kind of wood shop you want. So I was doing videos with that, and we're trying to say what do we want to call it. And we're in the garage, and the wife goes, "Well, there's Buster. Why don't you name it after him?" And look, he's sitting in the corner. So all the videos I did, Buster was always in the corner of the garage. So then we kept the name Buster's Corner and transferred it over to here.
That's cool. And what about now you said we're talking pre-production about YouTube channel subscribers and growth and stuff like that. And you were saying, yeah, it took us a long time to get to our first 1,000 subscribers and stuff. Then you were talking about RVs, and you really didn't get into details. I was kind of wanting to save it for the podcast. So you guys got a YouTube channel. You're doing well with subscribers and stuff, and it didn't start with iRacing. So what's the history there?
No. So
what kind of videos have you guys done in the past? What are you doing now? How and is it morphed into iRacing at this point? I guess the whole history behind it.
yeah. Okay. So it started with the wood shop, and then we bought an RV. We've actually owned 4 RVs in I think 3 years, or 4 RVs in 4 years. We started with a little 19-foot, and we played with that for a year. And I said, okay, let's sell that. Let's go big, go 25-foot. And then we went to a 36-foot and then down to a 32-foot. So we do the RVs, we go to places. And actually, it cracks me up. We did a video up in Tahoe of a campsite up there. Some days that video gets more hits than an iRacing video will. Because it's people just, they want to go to Tahoe and check out the camping site. So we got that one on there. Oh, my wedding's on the video channel. My son's wedding's on the video channel. Some family ones like that, and then into the iRacing stuff. Yeah.
Now, so I've always heard from like content creators and people doing YouTube that you shouldn't mix content. Like if you're going to have a racing channel on iRacing, you should have a sim racing channel. If you're going to have a channel about woodworking, you should have a woodworking channel. If you have a channel about RVs, have an RV channel. If you're going to have a channel about current events, current topics, have that. And you shouldn't do it all in one channel because your audiences are so different. So like you're the first person I've ever heard it or talked to that's mixed everything together. How's that worked out for you? How's your audiences like transfer between topics or subjects, or like, like how's that went for you?
You can see sometimes when we brought the iRacing in, you can see some of the subscriptions dropped off, but really not that much. Oh, that's the other one. I also have what's the other one? How to refurbish a gumball machine.
What?
That's on there.
Kind of
it's one of the favorites. Topic. It's one of the favorites. How to rebuild a gumball machine. And so you buy one at the flea market for $10. You clean it up, you tear it apart, you put it back together, and put M&Ms in it. That's one of my favorite videos. It gets a lot of hits too. But you're right, and I've heard the same thing, that maybe you should separate those. And I thought about it when I first did the Irish videos, but my channel kind of shows you who I am. I think if you go through my channel, the first thing you see is me and my wife sitting on the couch telling you what we're doing. That's who I am. I'm an honest guy. You see it. You trust me. Do you trust me? Do you believe me? If you trust me, you believe me, you're going to follow me. Let's see where this nuthead's going to go.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here thinking. Also, if I combine my subscribers, I'd probably have 1,000 by now, because I have, obviously this is my most successful YouTube channel I've done. It's the only one I put a ton of effort into here at the Area 51, and but my I have my personal YouTube channel that I don't put much on, a family thing here or there that I share with people or whatever, like to share links to friends or whatever. A lot of that's unlisted, I just share personal links to family for something I've recorded. But my first one that was like a branded channel was it's still up. It's Tri-State Championship Wrestling. I used to be a professional wrestler and promoter and that kind of stuff, and so I would put in videographer for different events, and I would put a lot of that stuff on there. And I haven't put any new videos on there for years, but that one's up to like 200-300 subscribers or so. And I used to put stuff on there. And then I've got one I'm a pastor, so I got a ministry channel on YouTube, and I don't know, maybe that's it. Maybe that's all. And then the racing one, but I've kind of kept everything separate and sometimes, but I really hardly have the energy to put into one at a time, really. And I'm trying to grow the racing one right now. Yeah. Now, are you a YouTube partner?
No.
Okay. I just didn't know if you'd signed. I think the minimum to be a partner is 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in a year. That's our goal this year. We've been talking about it in some of the videos that, hey, subscribe, every subscription counts. And that's our goal, is to reach our partnership.
So watch this. Exactly what you're talking about. So yes. And that's something you and I watch. It's our target. So I'm at 3,570 hours. I need another 330 hours or something like that, right? So in one of my videos, I told you guys, listen, you guys, put on an hour video, push play, go get in the shower before you go to work. Before you go to work, push play again before you go to work. I need just 500 hours. Let's go.
Yeah. So I'm just the opposite. So this is our first year. We've only been up since. We've been doing this since middle of February, Trace, somewhere in there. I put my first like tire wear video up that got like a ton of hits, and that's what kind of inspired me to keep doing more.
Right.
It got thousands of views and a lot of watch time. And I was like, wow, maybe this going and like make something out of it. And so that's about the time we started. And so we're not having a problem with watch hours. We're right on target. We're way above target. We're only about we're about halfway through the 12-month rolling period, and we're about 3/4 of the way there on watch hours. We're not having any problem hitting that. But subscribers, it's like we're right on pace. with no wiggle room. If we keep up at the same pace we've been going since we started, then we'll hit it. But if we, there's just no wiggle room there. So our goal was within the first 12-month period to hit the YouTube partnership. That's kind of just our personal goal. So that's kind of cool to hear about your journey. You're on the same goal as we are.
Yeah. And I always encourage people, if you watch somebody's video on YouTube, if you got anything out of it, hit the subscribe button. Now you can mute the guy if you don't really want to get the bells and the emails. You can mute the guy, but give the guy a subscription hit.
Yeah, and the reason, and maybe you can share the reason why you're looking at this, is that being your goal? Is it like at that point you become a partner, then you start getting the ad money, the AdSense stuff, and it's not a lot. Like I used to make money off my wrestling channel, a few bucks here or there before that, but when the partnership threshold was lower, I don't even know if there was a criteria. Right. Requesting it. You just went and created an AdSense account and you requested it, right? And so it's basically all you did. And I used to get paid off those. I get paid maybe $10 a month, 15, $20 a month.
Yeah.
And but I would use it to go buy equipment, like another microphone at some point or whatever, or this or that. And so that's our goal here. It's not that I think I'm gonna get rich off YouTube. I don't think
you're not.
There's very few people. It's like going out and playing pickup basketball versus being in the NBA, right? Like very few people ever make a bunch of money off YouTube. But my thought is we get the partnership and you have 20, 30, $40 a month coming in off of it. You can invest back in the channel and buy some better webcams, better microphones. Like you can get equipment that you can review possibly, so you're not paying out of pocket, and you can start reviewing equipment for people. I've had a few people request that on the channel. Like I've done setup shop reviews where I've been paying out of my own pocket for a subscription so I could review that for other people and that kind of stuff. And but I haven't done any equipment because that stuff's expensive. I got my own personal equipment that I have. But when I buy new equipment, I usually sell the old equipment to help pay for the new, so I don't keep a lot of it around. So that's just my thought, is that I'm hoping I can use that money to upgrade and also to buy stuff to review for our viewers and things to help the channel out. So that's really why we had the goal here.
Yeah, and that's the exact same thing I'm working on as well. And I've told the guys in our group, I said, once we start getting money off this YouTube thing, that pays for server time. That I'm paying for now. And I don't have a problem paying for it. It's part of my game. But that's what that money would be for. It's just, like you said, server time, equipment, maybe some 42-inch monitors in here would be nice. Maybe, just kidding. It ain't gonna pay for no 42-inch monitors. Like you said, it's 10, 20 bucks.
Come on, Bob, get the 49 like I have.
Size doesn't matter, huh?
But everything we're talking about is stuff we don't need if all we're doing is iRacing. Like if we're just being regular iRacers, you don't need any of this stuff. Like I have no problem buying my own equipment for iRacing. I've done it already, right?
Right. It's already there.
Everything I'm talking about is extra funds to do more with the YouTube channel and help the viewers. So, and I'm a big proponent of the pie is ever expanding. So go, if you're one of our viewers, you're watching right now and you haven't subscribed to Buster's Corner yet, go and subscribe to Buster's Corner, watch some of their videos. They got a lot of cool stuff for the A car and vice versa. I posted a link to your channel and your Discord, Bob. Whenever I was doing all my posting, I went in your Discord, posted a link to this podcast. So if you guys haven't watched any of our stuff yet and you're just watching today because Bob's the one coming, hit that subscribe button for our channel. Like the pie always grows. Just because you watch Busters doesn't mean you can't watch Alien Factory and vice versa. And anytime the guys are in the races,
I need a rig like his.
If you see up the chat, Bob Kim Byron said he needs a rig like his. Have you seen his monstrosity of a rig?
I have not, but if I had Ken's money, I'd have Ken's rig.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
His rig looks like a sprint car just without the wheels. I mean, all painted up. A sprint car without the mud.
He should have put how much tape to run though.
He's probably got too much tape on that rig.
I think he took the wing off it.
So that's cool about your YouTube. Is there anything else? Is there anything else you want to talk about? Want people to know about you? Your brothers, the whole Hogue family. I mean, you guys got a whole family operation going on over there.
Yeah, it was called we started with the Hogue Racing. Has always been our thing throughout this whole time, and but now we're Buster's Corner more so than the Hogue Racing thing. No, that's about it. Married. I have my own business, which is called Buster's Appliance Repair. There's Buster again, and Buster is my dog. He's a little Shih Tzu.
Hey, he's pretty popular, man.
He's very popular. And actually, in my videos, you'll see it's got the little watercolor mark down the bottom right hand screen. That's his picture down there. So I own my own business, work out of the house. The wife does a dispatch. I run around, I fix appliances inside your home, the washers, dryers, refrigerators, dishwashers, that kind of stuff. That's what we do. Been doing it for 20 years. Actually, I did for Sears for 12.
So, oh wow, is Sears even in business anymore? I know they closed in my local area.
They still have the service. They still have the warranty service and all that stuff going on, right?
Oh,
But
Yeah. Their appliance repairs where they make their money. There's good money in appliance repair.
Yeah. So I'm looking back behind you, and one of the stickers I see behind you is Husenfeld. Do you have Husenfeld pedals?
Oh yeah,
Really?
must have. That's a must have. You got to trade in the Sidewinder pedals and upgrade.
Sidewinder.
Well, I'm running. I think everybody on this podcast except you, Bob, are running V3s, the Fanatic V3 pedals, and I love those things. So like, I've never even thought about upgrading any past those. Like, I think they're great. I love the low cell brake. I like the vibrators and the throttle. Like I love everything about them. So I was just curious, like, have you used the V3s, and how much is of a difference between the V3 pedals and the Husenfelds is there?
I've got 2 of those pedals that you have in my attic in the garage. I'll send you a pair. It's night and day. It's night and day. Well,
really,
the reason why I have 2 because Fanatec has a problem with those pedals, and their stuff breaks, and you can't get parts for them, I guess. Brother Bill did the same problem with his. But anywho, and the other set was fully functional. I said, nah, it's time for an upgrade. But no, totally, it's night and day. It's night and day between the 2. I mean, the curve that you can put on your brakes and the curve you can put on your throttle, so that when you're applying the throttle, it's not a linear line like this, and it's up to you. You can curve that line slowly, and same with the brakes. You can change the brake rotation on the curve on that.
Now, Bob, you're going back to your RC days, aren't you, on that? When you start using exponential on those?
I hate it when people tag. Yeah, there you go. You nailed it.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Well, hey, we got another Hogue participating in this podcast. We got Bill Hogue.
Bill.
He's in the comments down there talking to Cody. So you got some family in this thing now too with you, Bob.
Now I'm in trouble.
Yeah, when I said your brother's welcome too. I didn't realize you had more than Tom, to come on, man. You could have just brought the whole family on the podcast tonight.
Yeah. Phil's not much of a talker. He'll sit in the background and throw rocks at me. He might even post a baby picture. Who knows? How family can be, huh?
Awesome, man.
Or an old jail cell picture. I don't know which.
Yeah, there you go.
So I never really raced RCs. So I when you guys are talking about the throttle curves and stuff, I really don't know what you're all talking about.
There were settings in those things where you could set the exponential, which is like Bob was saying, instead of being linear, right? You could set the curve. So it would start out real slow, and then the further the travel, then it kicks up. Now, most people don't know that. That's what's in iRacing. When you go set the brake curve on that, you raise that number value. That's exactly what you're doing to that, is you're adding exponential. So it's really soft, and then the harder you hit it, then all of a sudden it jumps way up like this, and you get 100% throttle. That's the exponential we're talking about. Mm-hmm. So even when they're talking some of the cheaper pedals, I still leave it linear on the old style pedals.
Eliminates wheel spin then when you're
No, just on the brake, not on the throttle.
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about the curve, Robert, being on the throttle as well. But then Tracy's talking about in iRacing the brake. They have a setting for the brake, either go linear. They say if you got a load cell brake in iRacing to go linear, but if you don't, check the box. And the box is called
Is it even a box? It's
a
slider. It's that slider.
It's a slider, but I think it's
in the options
too.
Yeah, you can make it harder, softer.
What's that called?
It's something.
Not brake force.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right.
It's called brake.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Bob, do you remember what that setting's called in iRacing?
I don't use it.
I don't either, because I have load cell pedals, and so I always slide it to 0.
It's in your options, Bob, in iRacing. Yeah. So how I found out about it is just
screen. It's on the main options screen. The first
right. So what brake factor?
Brake factor. That's what it is. Brake factor.
So what I did was I just held when it was at 0, I just held my brake 50%, anywhere, just as long as you hold it, and then move the slider while you're holding it, and you'll watch the red go up and down. And that's how I found out about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
So what if you could put a dead zone in there? Say 5%. Sometimes you have fat feet or something like that, and
Yeah.
maybe you don't want that gas to engage right away. So let's say you put a 5% dead zone at the bottom and at the top.
Right.
I'm just saying there's so many options.
Oh yeah, there is.
I guess you could do that. You can do that where you put it down there before you start and
if you
press
get
your
it in
foot
your
down.
software, you can do it for sure.
I know you
guys
can
are
do it on a
using-
V3. You can do it on V3 and set your dead zone wherever you want them.
Right. If you want to crunch the math, you can do it in the I think is it the INI file? I think is in there. There's an INI file in there where for the pedals, and you can, by changing the numbers in there after you calibrated it, you can change those values too. It's just something behind the scenes. You got to be aware of what you're doing. I know there's some folks out there that put videos out for that, but I've done that before too, where I've made an 80% break out of it. So when you stand on it, you're only getting 80%, and that helps me in road course because you can outbrake people.
But you guys are using, is it load cells versus potentiometer? I forget what mine's got. They're different. I think you guys are load cells.
Yeah,
we're
load
load cells, but the load.
I think the Husenfelds have either they may have hydraulics because there's really three main technologies behind the braking systems in the sim racing pedals. The cheap ones is either a potentiometer or a Hall effect sensor. That's usually what gas pedals have as well, and clutches for registering their movement. The better technology is the Hall effect magnetic sensor, and then you got the potentiometer, and that's the cheaper brakes. Then you got the load cell brakes. And then when you get into really nice, expensive pedals and stuff, then you get into the hydraulics and stuff. So I'm not sure. I think the Husenfelds actually have hydraulics, don't they, or no?
I don't think so. No, it's not hydraulics.
Well, you can get them that way, though, I believe, because I've seen pictures of them with hydraulics on them.
I bet you Ken Byron has them.
Yeah, yeah. I bet
not something I can afford.
That's. Man, I tell you what, dude, I love looking at Ken's stuff. I tell you what, he was on Ken. This is the last story I'll tell, Robert. Then we'll get into your favorite part of the podcast.
Wait,
what's that?
Well, I thought we were going to still talk with Bob on the rest of his stuff that he's doing.
Well, we will. We're going to get back into his segment.
Okay.
We'll focus on that in the last part. But the last story I'll tell about Ken, and then we'll get into it's just get related to what we're talking about. So our episode 1 of the podcast, we had Ken Byron on to talk about something, and we at the beginning we were trying to come up with topics like this, talk about the beginning of the show. And one of them was sim equipment. Like, let's show everybody what sim take a picture of your rig, take a picture of your equipment, and share it with everybody. And let's talk about our sim equipment and what we all have. And dude, we get the Ken, and I pop his up on the screen, and I'm like, "What is that, dude?" It was like it was when he was still building it. It literally looked like the frame of a real car.
Yeah, he trumped everybody. Nobody's got anything.
Yeah. So anytime somebody talks about high-end equipment, it does not surprise me one bit if Ken has it, man. He has all kind of crazy amounts of equipment. Yeah. And the monitors he has like I saw a picture of his finish rig. We just had him back one again to talk about their Riker Performance Manager software that they put out. And in the background of this camera, he took the background off and you can see the rig in the background. I was like, what kind of monitors are those? He has like four of the Samsung G5 32-inch widescreen curved monitors,
Damn it.
And these things just curve like all the way around him, it was wild. So that don't surprise me a bit if he has like the most advanced pedal system you can get. Anyway, hey Robert, guess what time it is? It's time for your favorite segment in the show each and every. In fact, it is a fan favorite. We get criticized anytime we don't do this segment. So here's the drum roll. It's time for the Wall of Shame this week. The Wall
Hang on,
of
Bob.
Shame.
You might like this.
And since Bob's on, we'll do A Open again this week.
Oh, because we got to get that guy in there. What's his name?
Yeah. Yeah, the Wall of Shame so popular that somebody from
Derek.
A Open, he had the most incidents in A Open. He wanted us to do A Open, so he'd get mentioned on the wall.
So he could get honorable mentionings.
Well, he was Mike last year or whatever it was, when Mike stayed at number 1 all year round on the.
Yeah, Brandon Burkhart, when he was on there a couple weeks ago, he made sure that that we showed me from last year up there at the top of the wall of shame.
All year.
Oh, yeah, all year. I was up there towards the top, but I also had a lot of races there last year. Anyway, here we go. I got my screen shared. You all should be able to see it. We are on a B Open, and let's go here. First of all,
can you blow that up? Wait a minute, it might be me.
It's probably you.
It is.
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah. Anytime, Robert, something's going wrong, you think, hey, it might be me. It probably is you. All right.
Well, you got a point there.
Yeah, let's start here with B Open. Let's start with the good list here before we get to the wall of shame. Good list here is the championship points run. Cody Trelindi.
You know why Cody is so high, is because everybody else was running 70% tape. And so he had an advantage to start out with.
Yeah, there you go. He's got some kind of hack to make sure his doesn't blow, but mine does. Yeah. That's why.
No, everybody else was running 70. He was making sure that he was running 65 or 63. Yeah.
Hey, Cody, I know what it is. I've got the secret now. I'm going to let everybody know if you're still watching. Since I installed your guys' Ryko Performance Manager, you've been watching my lap times, and I'm starting to get faster, and you don't want the competition. So you made sure you put too much tape on the set that I downloaded, and then you ran your special hack to make sure you don't blow up.
It wasn't a special hack. He just made sure he wasn't running that much tape.
Maybe he read the notes.
And Tracy, what's the moral of the story? Always
check the notes.
That's right.
But Mikey said it wasn't on the note, so I guess.
All right. Well, Cody is still our championship points leader and B Open. He has extended his lead quite a bit now. He is up to 51-58 in championship points, which gives him 51-58 minus the next person's 47-85.
Almost 400 points.
373 point lead.
He was there earlier this year. He had a 200 some points, and it got knocked down. It was down 60 something points earlier this year.
He got cleared down to like a 14 point lead.
Yeah.
And he was up to around 300, but I think 373. Cody, you can correct me if I'm wrong if you're still watching.
He's watching. He's putting it in the chat right now.
Yep.
He's down there harassing me in the chat.
Make sure he puts it in his note. You might want to change his notes, everybody out there now, to watch your tape.
Cody's like, Cody said he used my telemetry tonight to get ready for Richmond, and he's got this little emoji, rolling on the floor laughing emoji. Thanks, Cody. Appreciate it. Anyway, 373 point championship lead. I think, Cody, that's your biggest lead of the season so far. He's getting close to a 400 point lead. So that's pretty impressive. Second place, Brandon Schmidt. And also Brandon Schmidt just started the YouTube channel to do live streams during races. So if you guys haven't checked out Brandon Schmidt's YouTube channel, just go check it out. And Brandon, if you're listening, man, if you want to give your viewers a shout out to come check out ours, we'd appreciate that. And also Buster's Corner with Bob Hogue over there. I'm sure he'd appreciate any of your viewers that you can point our direction as well.
Now, Cody's getting that road to pro, isn't he?
I'm not sure. Cody had to put down in the comments if he's doing the road to pro. I'm not sure if he is this week. He said he was over 400 before this week and he lost a little bit.
Yeah, so he had a rough Monday.
Yeah, he did pretty rough on Monday.
Yeah, he apologized for didn't want to come on the broadcast because his feelings were hurt. But
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't be on top every week. I mean, they're on top so many weeks, and Cody's been a real solid performer. And every once in a while, Bob, like we were talking about before the show, you have an off week here and there. So, it is what it is. See, Tommy Gossett, friend of the channel, he is in fourth place in championship points, 44.50. Mike T. Bruno is in fifth place. He's a mainstay in B Open at 4,400. John Jenkins, 4,300. Anthony Federico, 42.10. Johnny Baldridge, 41.89. And the ninth place ninth place in championship points overall in Division 1 of B Open is 40.70. It's Randall Nichols. And in 10th place, you finally break below 4,000. with Ronnie Joyner. That's your top 10 in championship points. So, man, there's some real solid racing on Monday night with the strength of field races. And that's where how all these guys are gaining all these championship points is running that Monday night, 8 p.m. strength of field race. And there's a lot of I rating there, a lot of championship points there to gain. And that's where you're going to gain these kind of numbers of championship points. And we broadcast that race live, Tracy, every single Monday night. As long
on time too.
Yeah, on time. We have to be on time. We can't change when our racing starts at 8.
Yeah.
8 p.m. Me, Robert Cook, Tracy Rumschlatt, and Scotty Stevens is usually your broadcast team regulars for that. So guys, go check that out on Monday nights. We'd appreciate that. And let's look here at maybe Bob, you can run us down the screen here and talk if you know some of these guys. We're going to stay with the championship point leaders here. We're going to go to A Open since we got Bob Hogg here. Buster's Corner focuses on A Open, the Cup Series in NASCAR. Let's switch over there. This is your Division 1 in the Cup Series for this particular season. It just started up here. We're in week 8 of the season, so we're about 3/4 of the way through. Bob, you know any of these guys, and what's going on here with the A Open championship points?
I don't really watch the points too much in here. I am on page 3 though, by the way. But I mean, you got to notice that James is up there. That's the Ryko driver. That guy is always awesome. He doesn't have a very big lead though, does he? I don't really know many of these guys. I don't really. I race one night a week, and that's the I guess the strength of field race on Monday nights for the A Open. I don't race the rest of the week.
Well, it's a couple of things I noticed. First, James is a Ryko driver. So isn't Cody. So Ryko is leading in both divisions of A Open and B Open in championship points. That's quite a tribute to their team. They're really competitive over there.
Well, and Bob might know that people have the highest incidence over there, though.
Hey, now I'm right here. I'm on the microphone. I have headphones on.
I'm sorry. I thought I had you mute.
Cody said the top 3 are all Ryko guys.
Yeah. So So in A Open, all these guys: James, Noah, Bitts, and Chris.
What you call him?
Bitts.
Okay, I thought you said something else. Okay.
And Chris Willite. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Chris, I guess all 3 of those guys are Ryko drivers, so that's pretty impressive there on the A Open standings. So guys, that's your A Open standings.
Let's not go yet. Let's hit the incidents here.
All right, we'll stay here for the incidents. All right, so now it's time for the Wall of Shame itself. We'll start with the A Open, and let's go to incident point leaders this season here in A Open.
And my Derek guy is still there.
Yeah, Derek Heitman. Dude, you are still number 1 in Division 1 here in champion incident points there in Division 1. And yeah, dude, 403, but you have 110 starts. So he's averaging just under 4 incidents a race. So really, as far as incidents per race, Derek, I know you wanted the shout out because you're at the top of the board, but you're racing so many daggone races, dude. Your incidents per race really isn't that high. The dude right below you in Josh Smathers, his incident per race count is around the same, a bit high, around about the same. So yeah, man, you're not doing bad. And the thing is man, once you get into Division 1 drivers, even the guys with high amounts of incident totals usually run a lot of races. Most Division 1 drivers keep their incidents around 4 incidents a race or less. In any series, once you get to Division 1, I mean, that's pretty much your top tier drivers. You got to have at least Bob, a 3,500 I rating to get in Division 1.
I think it's about where it is. Yeah.
Yeah. 3,500. So you're talking about guys with 3,500 or higher I rating. So, I mean, their incident counts per race should be low, 4 or less. And that's really what you find. Let's go here to Michigan.
You guys thought I was going to be on that page, didn't you? That's why you brought that up, to see if I was on that page.
Exactly.
I wasn't.
Just for the record,
well, we
Bob
thought you might know 25. Some of these guys that are on this list. You know,
I knew you were going, Cook. I caught on to that. I'm right here. I got the headphones on and everything.
All right, so let's go here to Michigan. We're in week 8. We'll just do this week only. So, Derek, you're falling off the list for this week. You're down to number 8 in total incident points. And you had 16 starts, dude. So you're racing really clean this week. I mean, that's low. That's less than, that's less than what, a couple a race or something like. Yeah, it's less than 2 incidents a race. So the only reason you're even on the top 25 for this week because you've got 16 starts. The highest incident count this week overall for Division 1 this week is Diego Morales or Moraes. He has 52 incidents, but he has 15 starts. So yeah, I mean, there's not a big incident problem. I think maybe the guy with the highest per race incident in the top like 10 here or so is number 2, Joshua Watson, has 9 starts and 47 incidents. I don't even think that's above 4 race. 47.
That's 5.
Hey, how many races did Stephen Harry start? Is that 38?
Yeah.
3? Oh
Yeah.
my.
Stephen Harry, dude.
Oh, he does that kind of stuff. He goes from 10,000 I rating down to 400.
Then
you know?
another friend of the channel, dude. 38 A Open starts this week. How did you find time to run
Where do you get the time for
38
that?
races?
Isn't that crazy?
Hey,
That
so
is nuts.
just for the fun of it. Okay, so this is Division 1. Most instant points is 52, right?
Yeah.
What's Division 2?
Well, we're going to look all divisions here. in
Oh,
just
are
a
you?
second.
I'm just
Yeah,
curious
yeah.
which division has the most records in it.
We
I
like to
think
look at
it's-
Division 1 first. 'cause
I
here's
think
the
it's
thing.
Division 1. I bet it goes
Here's
down
the thing
later.
with Division 1 is Division 1's where all the egos are at, right? Like everybody in Division 1
What?
just about has a little bit of an ego. Me
What?
and everybody, okay? So you get in races and we just scrape paint a little bit and get a 0x. And you got Division 1 guys on the radio yelling at each other a lot of times, right? Because, it is there. So a lot of times we like to look, is so-and-so really that dirty of a driver? And when you get in Division 1, the answer is obviously no. I mean, most of the time, no, somebody's not, so let's get the egos out of the way. And that's kind of why I like to look at Division 1 to show that, hey, most of the guys in Division 1 are all pretty clean drivers. Even the guy who has the most incident points is pretty clean. But I will say that at Division
I like
1,
to make a disclaimer now. Just because you have all these incidents doesn't mean that you caused them all.
That's right. You could just be a victim of circumstances. So here's our winner for Division 1. Our Wall of Shame winner for week 8 at Michigan is Joshua Walton. 9 starts, 47.
That's only
incidents.
5. That's only
He
like
has
5.
he has 5.22222. So basically 5.2.
Well, no, the other guy has 4 with the guy down the bottom. Noah Blitz, he has 4 with 14 14. So that's not bad either.
No. So I'd say Joshua Walton, number 2, is the winner for A Open this week in Division 1 with 5.2 incidents.
Wait, no. We got this Jacob Simpson. Okay, he had 2 races and he has 19 incidents. Okay,
Yeah,
so
but I don't know.
well, that's 8. That's 8. That's 8.
All right, so we'll do a co Wall of Shame trophy here because he only had 2 races, so could have just been 2 really bad races. The other,
well, at least he knew when to quit.
Right? Yeah, there you go. At least he knew when to fold them this week. So we'll have co-winners there of the Wall.
Well, I'm just saying he had 8. The other guy had 5.2. Who is the winner here? Who is the winner?
I will call it a tie because the one guy only had 2 races. It's hard to.
I saw Chris Cornell earlier this week. He had 1 race with 18 X's. Okay, but he raced more after that. But that. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's hard to average only 2 races and say that was a lot. I mean, it's a lot easier when somebody's got like 9 races in to be able to do an average per race. All right, so here we go, Bob. Here's what you were looking for. This is for all of A Open. Okay. We can look both ways. We can look at overall, not just this week, but we'll do this week first since it's already up. Here's A Open, week 8, Michigan, sorted by highest incident points. Somebody has 21 starts and 98. That's actually not bad at all. 20 starts, 72. I'm not seeing. Let me see.
Okay, now I know every name on this list. I race with these guys.
I was wondering.
These guys are in every race I'm in.
Yeah, I think you might know some of these guys.
Number 3 is the first one we're getting to that stands a chance. Number 3 is Anthony Harrison 3, and he has 71 incident points in 13 races, which is 5.46 incidents a race. That may get us on the board. Let's keep going down, seeing who else we got here. I'm looking for low race count and high incidents here.
Daryl Cox, he has 5 races with 43 incidents.
All right, let's try that. 543 divided by 5. That's 8.6. There we go. Now we're starting to get into some territory. Somebody might win this thing. Let's see who else here.
Once again, Steve and Harry's down there floating around the bottom. That's just the 38 races I'm looking at, though.
Holy 38 races. I'm still going back. That's crazy, man.
This is still Michigan only?
Yeah, this is Michigan only.
Michigan. Where do they guys get
times.
the time on 38 races? 21
Yeah,
races.
that's what we were saying about Steve and Harry, buddy, man. If you're watching, I mean, you're a friend of ours. If you're watching, like, we want to know, like, how in the world do you race 38 races?
Tell us, Steven. We'll have you on the show. You know our disclaimer works.
In one week, dude, with relatively low incidents. I mean, he's only got 46 incidents and 38 races. That's barely over one incident a race. I mean,
he's got 4 wins though.
Yeah, he's racing clean. He's racing a bunch. So yeah, I'm thinking the 8.6, Robert. Who was that? 43 incidents and 5 races.
That's that Daryl Cox down there, number 24.
Number 24. Yep, Daryl Cox, brother. I think you are the week 8 Michigan Wall of Shame winner here for A Open here with our official award given out each and every week by the Alien Factory podcast. The Wall of Shame. Let's flip over now to B Open. We'll get back to B Open as
real quick on the Michigan for the next gen this week. The setups that came out this week, even out of our house and Ryko and other guys, were so good this week that guys were just milking the iRatings this week to get the numbers up.
Absolutely.
Farming.
I got you.
Yep.
Because the track was good, the cars were good this week, and
maybe that's why Steve and Harry raced 38 races.
Yeah, I figured he had a good set.
Trying to get back up to 4,000.
You should have seen him last week at Indy. The guy was all over the grass. He was trying to cool the tires at Indy.
Dude, I think this
is that still a thing on iRacing?
I don't think so.
It used to be a thing on iRacing.
Hey,
on the grass.
listen to this.
They fixed
you guys, listen, you guys will get a kick out of this. So I think this is Ron Walsh. I'm pretty sure the Dropouts is the name on YouTube. I'm pretty sure that's Ron. Ron just says this. He wrote a comment. He says, "I remember when I used to get wrecked. I always ask, why did they Howerton me? LOL." Yeah. Thanks, Ron. Appreciate that. That's why Brandon brought up I was the leader of incident points there last or whatever year. The first year
I think you're probably in there 2 year running, I think, Mikey, of the first year and the second year.
Well, the first year was because I had a high incident count. I think the first year I averaged like over 5 incidents a race.
I helped that.
Yeah, that was the first year. The second year,
you improved it, and it's still on top.
Well, that's because I ran like 800 and some races or something in 39 weeks or whatever. The second year wasn't because I was wrecking everybody. The second year is because I ran a zillion races. But the first year was because I was wrecking everybody. My incidence per race was high that first year. So I guess I earned Ron's comment. I guess my name turned into a verb. Why'd you Howerton me? So anyway, here we go. So we got our winner here for A Open in the Wall of Shame, Daryl Cox. Daryl, get a hold of us. We'd love to hear your side of the story. If you want, invitation has been open now for as long as we've been doing the Wall of Shame. Nobody's taken us up on it yet, but Daryl, you could be the first. We'd be happy to have you on and we have fun, joke, laugh. We could hear.
We got to get a T-shirt somehow. It says I won the Wall of Shame.
That's right.
Area 51.
Get that merch going through Brandon.
Yeah, guys, you keep subscribing. We get our YouTube partnership, the big money, like the $20 a month or something, big money. We can afford to buy that one T-shirt each month and give it out.
Yeah, Brandon Burkhart fix us up.
Yeah,
start giving out alien heads.
I wonder if we could get like Butt Kicker, somebody to sponsor our Wall of Shame. They can give out Butt Kicker Wall of Shame T-shirts with the alien head on them. There we go. All right, so let's go to B Open. This is where we'll finish out this Wall of Shame segment tonight. We are at B Open here, and this is for the whole season. We've already done this several times for the whole season in B Open. So let's just focus here on week 8 or not week 8, shooting B Open. It's way down the list. Because B Open's the big 39 week season. I think we're like week 25. Yeah.
Michigan, right?
Yeah. Week 25, Michigan. Okay, here we go. So B Open's pretty much the same, a lot of clean racing. The guy who's number one in incident points is Derek Likes, but Derek's got 12 starts in with 21 incident points. That's not even two. That's below 2 points a race. So he's out. He's doing all right. Now here's Joshua Susi. He has he's division 1.
9
He
per
has
race.
9 per race. He has two starts, 18 points. At least he knew when to quit. Eugenio Alfonso. It's odd to see him at the top of the list. He's a pretty clean driver. He's got 12 starts and 16 incidents.
That's something. That's nothing.
Yeah, that's just a little more
a
than
little over
right?
one something.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to defend Joshua here because his average start is 3 and he's finishing 13. He's starting up front and those clowns are taking him out. That's not his fault.
Yeah, that's exactly what's
Do you
happening.
see that? He's starting up front. The guy's in the second row, first or second row every race, and somebody's taking him out.
He should learn at least know how to make a lap, right?
Think his car's too loose?
Hey, looks like Eduardo Oliveira. Looks like he continued his winning ways this week too.
We got to talk about that. Yeah.
So Eduardo, I think he won the Monday night strength of field, didn't he?
Yes.
Yes.
So
But,
Eduardo
yeah,
wins the
but
Monday
look,
night
he's got
strength of
13 wins.
He
Yeah,
raised
out
up
of 20
starts
starts.
and 13 wins. That's pretty impressive. 20 starts and 13.
Hey, Bob, that's what you call farming.
Yeah.
20 starts, 13 wins. Wow.
I would find out where
Wow.
he's buying his setups because the average start is first, average finish is second. So is he a Ryko driver?
No, I think he's
Elite.
EPI,
I think
isn't he? Or Elite. Yeah, EPI, Elite Performance Industry.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, EPI.
But he owes me a set. I gave him a set from a track. I don't know I forget what track it was. And
Irwindale figure 8.
It was a good 5th place finish. You can finish 5th with no problem. I gave it to him. He started winning races, and he told me I'm running that same set. And you think he would give me a set that was a winning set, but no, he won't.
You think he'd go to Ryko, buy a setup, and pass it out?
Well, I made my own. Man.
That's taboo there.
That's
You
a
don't wanna do
no-no
that.
for Ken.
Hey, Ken, I owe these guys a set. You mind if I can buy one off of you? Pass it around?
Yeah,
Listen.
don't change the tape. You got 12 laps.
Right.
Been doing some babysitting for me, see? My kids are deaf. He's yelling at them. I owe Mike a setup.
Hey, Robert, maybe you can tell me if this is true or not. Ron Walsh says, because you used to be on the same team as Ron. Ron says, I had a nickname over there. His comment is, we called you the snowman because you were plowing through everyone.
I know. One time everybody hated you. And back at we had a big fight at Nashville Fairgrounds, and that's I think all of us was in the room, and we wanted to take you out.
So here we go. So I would say our winner this week for Be Open Wall of Shame is, drum roll, is Joshua Susi. Man, I don't know what those guys are doing to you when you're starting up there in the top of the grid, like average start, 3rd place. But man, I don't know what's happening. But you are
probably didn't know how to get around lap cars, maybe.
Yeah, you got 9 incident points per race. And that is our winner for Division 1. And the last thing we're going to look at is all divisions in Be Open. That's always fun. Here's somebody with 22 starts. Wow. 113 incident points with 22 starts. That's 5.1 a race, so not horrible.
Look at John Thompson. He's got 25 starts.
Tommy Helly, 35 starts.
I believe it, man. Tommy Helly's in like every race. He used to be at the top of the board for the Wall of Shame.
He was on Nuno's list for a little bit there too.
Yeah, but he's gotten a lot
Discord,
better. Tommy's gotten a lot cleaner and a lot better, a little more careful when he's driving. I think I see our winner here.
Sean Kelly.
That's going to be the 3rd place guy, Thomas Caldwell. He has 70 incident points and 10 starts, which is an even 7 incidents per race. Mm-hmm. I think is going to be our Be Open overall winner.
That's not bad though. That's not bad.
When really it's not overall, because the Division 1 guy had 9 incident points per race, but he just only raced 2 races. It didn't have a bunch. When you're talking about an average over a lot of races, I mean, 10 races is a good measuring stick to give an average. Let's see here. There's a guy that has 58 incident points. divided by 7 races.
Well, we got that Corey Mott or whatever. He had 4 races with 40 incidents. So that's 10 again.
Oh, yeah, maybe he's our winner. I don't see 50. Yeah.
I can't see any further because I can't see any further what you got. Move, scroll it up more.
That guy has 8.2. So yeah, Thomas, you're out.
Corey Mott.
Because somebody else has 8.2 over like 7 races.
I'm going with the 24 driver there.
Corey the number 4. Yeah, Corey Mott. There we go. 4 races, 40. That's an even 10. Yep, there we go. So that is our winner. We got a few runners up. Our winner this week and the B Open overall wall of shame is Corey Mott with 4 races, 40 incident points. That is an even 10 incident points per race, and that even beats out the Joshua Susi there in the Division 1. So he definitely is your true overall winner here in the Wall of Shame this week. So Corey, man, if we ever get some money, here's the drum roll. If we ever get some money to send out Wall of Shame winner t-shirts, we'll get you one. And if you ever want to come on the program to talk about it, we'd love to hear what happened.
You got to look too that he's in Division 6, so he probably hadn't been on here very long either.
That's true.
So he's still developing the carcraft and stuff.
Well, guys, that's it. That is the Wall of Shame this week. I hope y'all had fun with us. It's always fun to look who's on the board, and it's fun if you see your name up there, kind of laugh about it. And we enjoy racing with everybody, and we're not trying to pick on anybody or anything. It's just all in good fun. So, guys, that is your Wall of Shame.
We don't want to kick it while you're down, but we're gonna.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
All right.
Was that my foot in your kidney? I'm sorry. I just tripped over you, buddy.
Kick him while down, Bob. Yes.
I really am sorry about that. I'm sorry your face is all muddy.
All right, Bob, this is going to be our final segment of the night, dude, and we are going to feature not you as a person, but we want to feature Buster's Corner and what y'all are doing. So let's take this time to start. Introduce Buster's Corner. Now we talked earlier how Buster's Corner meant a lot of things. It started with woodworking, but we're going to talk just about iRacing.
Yep.
So what is Buster's Corner and iRacing, and what are you guys doing over there?
So Buster's Corner is basically next gen racing community that builds free setups, and we share them. The setups, we share the information it takes to build a setup. Let's see. So we have a YouTube channel. I put out the video each week of our setup, and then I also do the live, I guess it's called a Strength of Field video on Monday nights. That first race at Monday nights. But so we're just a bunch of guys that get together, and all we do is, like you guys are doing the B thing, all we do is next gen.
Now it's a free community, right? It's no subscription.
That's correct. And there's no refunds because we don't charge,
if you don't like the set top.
If it gave you too much tape, you have nothing to complain about, right?
That's right. Exactly. But basically I'll go through and I'll do the setup. The baseline setup, and I work through it Tuesday through Saturday. I get the spring to the ride heights and run through Motec. I get the car the best that I think that I like, the way I would drive it. Then I put it out there to the community on Discord. So here's what I got. And we ask the guys, jump in the car, run it, give me 20, 25 laps, maybe give me a fuel run, and just tell me what you think. Is it too tight? Is it too loose? What is it doing to you? Is it comfortable to drive? Do you think you could run this to the track? And the guys will give me feedback. It needs this, the gear's wrong. I don't like the gear. It's too tight in 1, it's loose in 4. They say every week they say that. It's always too tight in 1 and too loose in 4. It always is every week. But
you don't think it's their driving style? No.
Of course not. And then we work through the setup until we get one, and then we put it out there. And it's free. It's posted there. And then the other guys will, Philip is part of Busters, and he'll usually do a qualifying setup for the group, and he'll post that up there. And then guys work on their own setups, and we have a room in there, a channel for the community setups. They post their own version of what they think we should run. So you've got options. You can either run mine, and mine are usually on the tight side. I'll tell you that right now. Mine's usually on the tight side, and some guys like them really loose on the loose side. So you can kind of pick and choose what you want right there.
All right. So if you guys, from what you're saying and what we've heard so far, you're offering, kind of a free baseline set for people. People, and you talk about people in the Discord contribute. So you're not talking about like a private small team contributing. You're talking about like the community, right? And so tell us about that. Like what does it mean when you're talking about the Discord, the community, people helping out? Like, who is that? Like, kind of give that idea.
Yeah, those are just people that have found us through the videos and what have you. There's like 800 people listed on our Discord channel, and a lot of these people have came from the Motec aspect. Let's back go to the Motec. So Tom put together the Motec 8.1, and we did the videos on those and handed that out to everybody, the entire iRacing community. And people said, "Wow, I got Motec, I got free Motec," and we showed them how to use it. Okay, so it's one thing to get a fishing pole, it's another thing to show you a guy how to fish. So we really go. I mean, if you have Motec questions, if you will, what do I do with it? What's it good for? We show you on there. When we first started, I was doing setup lessons. We'd do a class on like a Saturday morning, and we'll pull up the Texas setup, say, here's what we're going to do, and we'll walk through it. So things like that. Who's the community? It's everybody.
So if I'm sitting here watching this podcast and I say I run a bunch of Be Open and I'm watching a podcast and I say, you know what, I want to get into the next gen and I like the Alien Factory, I like everything they're doing, and I hang out with them on the Be Open stuff and watch their videos. I have their Motec workbook and all this stuff. But now I want to do next gen, and I would love a community there to be able to share ideas with and be able to have. So how do they find, like, if you're that person and you want to get involved and you say Buster's Corner is probably a good fit for me, how do they find you? What are the different ways?
Well, we got the videos like you guys. We do the videos, Buster's Corners videos, and in the notes in every video is the link to our Discord, our Facebook page, a link to Tom's GitHub to get his Motec books. Actually, we have the updated one on our Discord. So all that's how do you find us is word of mouth. Actually, if you find us on the track, when I do my practice sessions on Saturday, I throw the setup up there to share it in those rooms that we're in there too.
Yeah, and you guys have a Facebook group as well that you share stuff in too, don't you?
Yeah, the Facebook though is more so look what I did type of stuff.
Right.
All of our setups are actually on the Discord. Yeah, so Facebook is more of pictures and that kind of stuff.
Now Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe, didn't he write a fork to IRFFB software and post that on his GitHub as well?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Tom's got that up there. Tom's got a lot of cool stuff on his GitHub. His overlays.
Right. If you guys don't know what a fork is, that's programming language for there's a piece of software out there and you took the code and you wrote some things and added it to it or changed it a bit and then reposted it yourself. So it's not your original software, but you wrote a fork. It means you wrote a version that has some different things in it. He added a few things and unhid a few things that were in it and did some things. I tried his version, but honest to goodness, I don't use IRFFB anymore. I tried it for a while, but there was some memory leak issues. It had nothing to do with what Tom did. It was in the base program, and I just got rid of it. But yeah.
So Tom took the guy's program, like you said, it was for Tom manipulated it and improved it. But I think the guy that originally started it took it. Tom gave it back and said, "Hey," and I think that guy was working on another version after that. And
I downloaded that one too, and he actually implemented Tom's changes. So Tom's changes got put into the main version at some point. So I guess it's not anymore.
And that's what Tom wanted. Tom didn't want to own it, forever. He made the changes. He went to the guy, knocked the door. Here's your program back. You own it. You go from there. And that's what happened to that. But that's us in a nutshell. We're just guys, and all we do is like I say, it's all next gen.
And so what is your relationship? So you're offering, setups, you're offering coaching, you're offering technical how-to videos. I mean, you're offering a lot to people, and you're just trying to help the community.
And it's all free. It's all free.
That right there is Robert's price, guys. That is the price tag Robert is looking for.
No refunds.
Well, everybody, when they ask anybody got a setup, I prefer to tell them to go someplace, where you can get it free. Now, if they want to go and pay money, they probably be able to find that later. But the guy starting out, why spend 10, 12, whatever it is nowadays to get a setup? Go for it's free. There's some good free setups out there.
Yeah, and our motto was always a top 10 for free. I'm not going to guarantee you a win. It's not a Ryko setup. I mean, we all know Ryko's hard to beat. So, but I'm saying you get a top 10 finish with our setup, so it's going to cost you a dime.
Yeah, and your car craft can get you a fifth maybe or better. You go out there, like I said, practice, and you'll improve that setup. When you're driving.
So and Bob, what is your relationship with the setup shops and stuff? I don't know if they view you as competition, offering something for free or not, but what kind of relationship do you guys have with them?
Great relationship. We totally believe in what they're doing. They are part of the game. They're part of the game within the game. Both Ken and Jeff, I have them on Messenger if I need to talk to them. I've done that. I've texted Ken, hey, what about this? What's going on with this? And same with Jeff. No, they serve a good purpose and a good role within the game. I mean, if you're back in my racing days, right? Every week we had $50 in fuel, $50 to get in. You're definitely gonna buy a tire that weekend for one way or another. So you had $200 a weekend. So you come home from work, you're a truck driver, you go to Ryko, here's your $15, which I think is way too much money, but that's not my business. You give them $15, you're racing all weekend. You're gonna run 38 races that week, right? You're gonna recommend the people as you can so you get on your show. That's the game.
yeah, that's true. I'm
hitting more people. I'm on here next week, baby.
Yeah, I like to pay the guys that paid for setups too. But when you guys are just starting out, I just think they need to go someplace where it's free.
That's right. And then the other thing that we do is the setup shops work with you. A lot of guys don't know this, but if you buy a Ryko or a Maconi setup, anybody setup, they got Discord. Go in there and say, hey, the car's pushing, it's overheating. I think it's got too much tape. You can talk to them and work through their setup. And
you hear that, Mike? You heard that, Mike?
Yeah. They need to go drop a note in their set, say, hey, yeah, it blows up or it gets hot. Or maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you somebody, Bob, who has a great Discord community. And I mentioned this in a lot of videos that, each setup shop, people ask me all the time, like, which setup shop do you recommend? I'm like, I recommend all of them. I mean, really, they all have different strong points, right? Like Pay to Win's got that $15 subscription now to get you everything they got, right? Get you asphalt, NASCAR big track stuff, get you short track asphalt, get you dirt, right? $15 a month. That's a great value. What depends on what their speed's like that week, but that could be a really great value potentially. You got Jeff Maconi. He got a hold of say, hey, I want to give your viewers 10% discount. So if you guys want to go buy something for him, there's 10% discount promo code down in the description. But he offers some cool subscription models. Like if you just like one car, like if you just like next gen, or you just like Be Open, he offers like a $10 a month subscription for one car, which is really cool. He also offers some other subscriptions and stuff like that. Ryko, man, they are really focusing on performance right now. They got their Ryko Performance Manager tool out there, which if you don't have the technical know-how for Motec and you watch a Tom Hogue video, or you watch a Mike Howerton, Tracy Rumside video about Motec, and you get our workbook and you're like, oh man, that's just too complicated. I don't want to do it. Ryko has a great alternative that they're offering, baked into the Ryko Performance Manager. That's cool. They offer competitive sets. It's a cool experience there as far as that portion. And then if you go to like EPI, EPI has probably of the paid setup shops, they probably have the most active Discord community, kind of like what you've got, but for their customers, that I've seen. They've always got team drivers in there in the hangouts area. They got maybe have 6-8 people in there watching somebody run a race, and having one of the drivers watching and coaching them, giving pointers during the race, and like all kind of stuff. And they get feedback from their Discord. So I would say, if you're looking for a setup shop that has an amazingly active Discord community, one of the paid shops, I'd say EPI, Elite Performance Industry, is a great place to go. Boyd Hogan, Tracy, he runs Reaper Speed Lab, and he's been tearing up the Strength of Field races, hasn't he?
Absolutely. And all his interviews, he's very grateful. He helps the community. He does a lot for that too. But yeah, Boyd's doing a
really
nice
fast
job.
sets. I mean, if you're looking just to want to get a fast set, I'm not saying that they're any faster than Ryko or anybody else's. I'm just saying, if you're looking for a good, solid, fast set from an owner that's pretty open and transparent as well, comes on our program a lot, check out Reaper Speed Lab. So I'm just saying they're all good, but they all have their own strengths.
I want to see iRacing bring back the steering wheel and the throttle and the brake input.
Oh, here we go.
I don't. They did in Papyrus. Everybody has it in real life to see. I think they need to bring it back.
But anyway, everybody has their own strengths, Bob. Everybody has their own strengths, and I like to point out, when somebody asks me, I say, well, they're all good. It just depends on what you're looking for, and so they all have their own strengths, and I like to point those out.
Yeah, exactly, and I agree with that. We're more of a DIY shop, I think, if you will, where if you want to know the mechanics that go into it, how do I? Like one guy asked today, dumb question, how do I lower the car? Okay, those things called spring purchase. So let's start there. So I mean, that's the level that we get. And so I have another segment in there I call my classroom, where I put little tidbits of setup tips,
changing the cross weight and all that stuff too.
Exactly. Yeah, little stuff like that. So if you want to learn, some guys I saw on Facebook, guy goes, look, I want to get in the next gen. I want to learn what's the best setup shop to go with. And I go, I'd go to Buster's Corner if you want to learn. If you want to buy one, pick any shop you want and learn from there. I mean, but if you want to learn what you're doing to the car and how you're making adjustments on a pit stop, you may come out hang out with us.
And at
the beginning, because it's not going to cost you anything.
Yeah, and I'll point people in your direction all day long, because I believe in that kind of a method. Like I purchase stuff, I do, but at the same time, we have a lot of team stuff that Tracy's worked on. We've had builders build over the years. We have people on our team right now that build and be open, but we may want to go race an A open race, right? Mm-hmm. So, or C open or whatever, or we may just want to get help and figure out and see what the other shop, what other people are doing, and go grab something from a shop to see what they're doing or whatever for the week.
I've done that.
Yeah, what applies to the B can go ahead and apply to the A setup as well, though, right?
Not as much anymore as it used to.
Really?
It's a lot different now.
Yeah, it's a different animal.
Trucks, a lot of stuff applies back and forth between trucks and B still at this point. But the Gen 6, you were right, Robert, a bit. But the next gen, nah, man, it doesn't really transfer.
So you got to mess with the casters and stuff on the rear wheels a lot more here on the A open to get it to turn better, or the rear wheel caster or camber.
Yeah, you do, but it's more of the anti-roll bars versus the spring package on them and the rake. So you guys will run a positive rake on your cars. We run a negative rake on our cars. That's the aero package in
it. And that doesn't make it porpoise any?
Well, you got to remember, it's all undercarriage stuff. It's all the aero is underneath the car. So it's a matter of creating a Venturi effect, and it'll suck it down. Yeah, it's completely opposite.
And we'll get those old guys like Mr. Cook there. He'll come in there and take the car and jack it up and get the rear spoiler up in the air so he has downforce, and the car spins out. Dude, where are you from? What are you from, the B class? Come on.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
20 years, man. 20 years, man.
Exactly.
We need Scotty here. Scotty be perfect for this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
No, we have the conversation almost at least once a week over on Buster's Corner. Is rake? How much negative rake do you run? Is it 0.1, 0.5, 0.6? What should the number be this week?
Yeah, and so I will say in our podcast and stuff, we have the same thing. So what I was thinking a second ago is, if somebody just wants to go purchase a set, I'd recommend them all. Go try them out. Find a place you like the best. Whichever if you like the Performance Manager at Ryko, check them out. If you like,
go see which one you can afford.
Yeah, which one you can afford.
Let's start there now. It's gotten
If you want a
expensive.
subscription, if you want a
Sponsor.
subscription model, if you like the Discord community DPI, if you like what they're doing at Reaper, like what you find one you like, if you purchase it, fine, right? But people wants to get into our videos. I tell you who we really throw people to get like a free base to start with is Major's Garage. Tracy talks about them a lot in the setup videos we've done. Hey, they offer a free baseline, and we use their free baseline, pull it up in our video, and make adjustments to it. And I want to tell you, so I signed up to get an affiliate link with them where you get a small commission if somebody purchases like their first month or whatever. We've gotten one subscription purchase so far, but I get a zillion emails every week, dude. My inbox and my email is just littered with you've got another referral, but it's all for $0 because they're going and getting the free base setups and then building off of them. So really that makes me feel good in a way, not about the money, but about the fact that it makes me feel good that people are watching our videos. They're watching our setup videos and our how-tos and our Motec videos, and they're going and getting that free base and they're building their own off of it. So like, I really think that's a cool thing. Actually,
I think there got to be more and more free setup shops out there. I just, there got to be more of them.
Yeah, and we work with Edwards over there. We kind of teamed up with them. We're just sharing links over there. They're kind of doing that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, they're down the description below too, and which they build for almost everything in iRacing because
they do.
Yeah, people in their community build for all kind of stuff. Plus, they got some builders in house.
Now, do you rob from these other open free setups, Bob, and steal from them and get their ideas and put it on your car?
I do not.
Always check the notes.
Check the notes.
I do not. Every once in a while, I'll go out and I'll purchase setups from the setup shops just to see what they're doing and see if I can learn something. What's the edge? I've done Ryko, I've done EPI, I've done Jeff stuff over at Maconi's, and one of the setup shops I got a hold of, that was a piece of junk. I said, you guys need to start stealing my setups and selling my stuff because this is junk.
Oh man,
I want my $10 back. So yeah, no
refunds.
Yeah, sometimes you want to get the paid ones to see, what are they doing different than you were doing different, so you can apply it to your setup.
Exactly. Like I bought the Ryko setup a couple weeks ago. I really want to see what their shock package is looking like. To see, because I don't do a lot with the shocks, and I said I can do better. Let's see what Ryko's doing. Well, they're all set for 10.
Well, they ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing nothing.
I'm working too hard over here trying to figure out shock packages. But there you go. You learned something. They run 10s, and maybe that was just for that track. I don't know.
No, well, hey, I'll tell you. So that's my go-to. Like if we get a setup that, like, we go to a track we haven't been to in a while, like Nashville. Let's say we were at Nashville Fairgrounds, not Super Speedway, Nashville Fairgrounds here. I don't know how long has it been, Tracy? About a month ago or so, or a month and a half ago, and Be Open. We were at Nashville Fairgrounds again.
Yeah.
And we hadn't been there in a year and a half or so.
Right.
And so I load up the set that I had from the last time. And of course, that new shock package settings and stuff, wasn't back then. So the set still loads, but everything's set at 5. So the first thing I do is go and set it all to 10, because that's kind of my starting place. And then if I need to make adjustments from there, I will. But if I don't and it runs great, I just leave it there. So yeah, I'm the same way. Like I go in, if I got some old and I bring it in and it doesn't register the shock package, I just all 10s.
Yeah. But as a builder though, it's hard to look at other people's setups when you talk about, do I steal other people's stuff or look at other people's stuff, because it's much easier for me to take the iRacing setup and tear it apart and rebuild it from there. If I start looking at somebody else's setup and let's say this guy has a tendency to run all the shocks at 10. Yeah. Okay, now you're building a car around shocks at 10 instead of shocks at 5. Or, what I'm saying? It messes with your head if you start playing with other people's theories, because you can build a good car 10 different ways.
Now, Bob, 2 things that I like to do when I build. One is I like to find a builder and kind of stick with them a little bit and understand what their line of thinking is on what their adjustments are from track to track to track. And then once I understand that, then I'll get another builder. And I'm trying to think, I don't know if it's right. I don't remember if it's Ryko. I want to say it's Ryko, but one of them has a pro driver one of the kids that just made the esports, and I like watching his stuff because he does a really good job at it. I can't remember if it is Ryko or not. It may be, but anyways, my question for you though is, since you've been a builder for what, a couple years, a year, something like that, an A car only?
No, a little less than a year. on the A
Okay.
car.
So now in the B car, we found that they had iRacing says they have 2 chassis. We say they have 5, or actually 4. Where the nose weight changes, even though the front ballast value stays the same.
I thought it was 3, Tracy.
Well,
Yeah,
it could be 2.
three set.
There's short track,
Road
intermediate,
Speedway.
super
And
speedway, and road racing. But well, you got
Oh yeah, road racing. I forgot about you.
right, but you got Bristol and you
those
got
guys.
Bristol and Dover as well. But my question is, and we haven't dabbled that much in the Gen X at all, but is that consistent in your chassis too? I mean, does the nose weight, depending on what track you go to, change, or is it always the same? And I mean the value. So let's say it's 50% at 28 inches. Now I don't know what it is in that next gen car, but does it have a tendency to change that value, go up and down?
No.
Okay, see,
No.
and the B car is a pro car. It's the next step to going pro, basically. And if you don't know that in the B car, it'll throw you as a builder, because you'll go and put 28 inches in it because that's what you've been running, instead of looking at the percentages. And it'll go anywhere from like 50.8% all the way down to 50% or 49.9, something like that, depending on where you're at. And Talladega is like 49.9, and all your intermediates are 50.8. So that's why I was curious. And one of the guy that runs iRacing had, when we had posted that, or Mike had posted that, had actually commented on it, saying that they didn't even know they had a problem. So it was something to do with their maths that was different, their formulas.
Now that's
he swore they only had
that
2
happens.
chassis, and that wasn't the case. And when we showed it to him, yeah, he was like, "Oh man, that's a bug or something we'll have to look at."
yeah, they get those. They know they got those.
Yeah,
They
well,
know it.
their previous B car in the 2000s, and I'm assuming you weren't on at that point in time. Were you on before the 2000s?
No.
Oh,
You
there
were
was
just doing the
major
papyrus at that
exploits
time.
in there. There was major exploits in there. So this B car is better, but it's still not right. It's probably, I think it drives the worst out of all of them. The truck drives good and A car drives good.
You don't like the B?
B's okay, but it's just not forgiving.
No.
I don't think it's forgiving. I think it's either too tight or too loose.
That's why I like it as a driver's car, man. You really got to wheel
You
it.
you got to drive it. You have to drive it. And
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. It's not that I hate it. I think that's why it's such a challenge. That's why I spend my time working on it. But if I go to the truck, you get a truck set up, you pretty much take it everywhere, and I'm not sure where the A car is with that, with the, like you say, with running the reverse rake in it.
on the A open, if you lose it, get loose, does it have a tendency to catch and go up to the wall, or is it best to go ahead and lose it and keep it to the left?
Lose it, keep it left, just like on TV. It's the A car is identical to TV, and they were talking about that just last week. The drivers have learned that if they start to get loose, that rear is coming around, keep going left. If you turn to the right, it's going to snap and shoot you right at the track to the wall.
That's what I think people need to know on the B too. It's the same way. If you lose it, turn it to the left, and anything else, you're going to spin out in the grass and not go back in the wall and ruin you and somebody else.
Yeah.
So Bob, let's get into a controversial topic with you and ask your opinion. Everybody was all worked up about the next gen and couldn't like the Gen 6 so much better. In fact, I was in a league that canceled their A series. They called it the Premier Series is what we're in a Thursday night league for B Open, but they also run a truck series, the B Open series, and an A series. They canceled their A series. They didn't have enough interest because everybody hated the next gen cars, and they just sent everybody down with the trucks or the B Open from that Premier League. And so that's been a big controversy, is people hating on the next gen. So what's your opinion? What do you like? Did you like the Gen 6 better, or are you liking these next gen cars?
So when did that happen? Was that when Gen 7 just came out?
It was at the beginning of the year, about February-ish. It was at the beginning of the year. So they had signups for the league started in December and January for this league. And it's a pretty decent league. You got to pay to get in. It's like $30 to get in. They have cash prizes. So it's a pretty decent league. And they even have I-rating tiers for which league you can be in. So anyway, so yeah, it was like the signups started into December and went through January, and the league started whenever NASCAR started. Daytona week was the first week of the league because they run the exact same schedule as NASCAR for that league. So it was around the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
So they claim.
Yeah. They kept the money. When Next Gen came out and Tom and I said, let's get onto this. And while it's new, we'll learn it, at the same time everybody else does it or faster. It's a different car. Okay, and these guys are coming from the Gen 6, the trucks, the B League, and they want to build this car the same way. They were trying to do the what's it you guys called? They would lock down the front end, coil bind.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
coil bind or the bump stops.
You lock down the front end on the trucks, the coil bind, and then the B cars are rear coil bind, a right rear. But the trucks you do a front coil bind on manually. Yeah.
So you couldn't do that in the Next Gen. So they know how to build the cars. How do we do it? Where's our bind? Where's our stops? How do we build this stuff? Where's this thing's a piece of junk because I can't build it because I'm not used to it. So once you got used to it, and then let's back up too. When they first came out with this, they had positive brake. iRacing didn't have all the data in yet. They put out a car, here you go, but it wasn't right. It was still doing a positive brake thing. Then they came back, okay, that don't work. This car needs a negative brake. So the car has been growing until the last patch. I think it was the last time we're going to see any big changes, but it was never right. It got so easy to drive. Everybody could drive it. All the truck guys were over here wrecking everybody. You know how they go. But
it's not a pack racing. That's what I heard too. There's more like a pack racing going on with the A.
As we get okay. So as we understand the car more, and Ryko's got it figured out, they got it dialed in, and everybody's running the same setups, you're going to see a lot more closer racing. But with that said, I think it's going to go downhill because now it's so easy to drive with a good setup, and we got to figure out how to make them drive. That Michigan, a lot of racing in Michigan was garbage. There was all short runs, and people were setting up cars to run 20 laps. You run 20 laps, you spin out, you bring out the yellow, let's go get new tires and do it again. And that's the way it ran. So for me and some of the other guys that were developing cars, we're testing for a 40 lap to 50 lap run, a fuel run. I'm gonna go halfway. It's a 70 lap race. I need to be able to do 35, 40 laps on my tires. And that's the way we built the cars. Well, no, that's not what happened. They were running my car needed to go 20, 25 laps, what these guys are doing. We'll go 20, 25 laps. Somebody will spin out. We'll get new tires. We'll go again. It wasn't a race anymore. It was just it was a kiddie pool.
Yeah, I hate that. Yep.
Yeah. Well, hey, that kind of experience is not limited to AO, but I'm just saying.
No, we get a long run. Ours usually don't come in until 20, 25 laps, and sometimes, and then okay, and then a caution comes out, or then we get a green flag stop, and okay, we got our changed our tires, and we're still moving up, and someone brings out a yellow,
Yep. So I mean,
go ahead,
I don't know.
I
think it might go downhill. I think that's now that we got the cars figured out how to make them work. We got the aero package figured out on these things. It's too easy. It's just iRacing, right? You got a couple guys up high. Some guy cuts you down low. He's going to run up the track into you because he overdrove the corner, and it becomes a mess.
Yeah, and that's been a problem. That's been a problem in B Open for a while because I mean the B cars are pretty flushed out at this point. I mean, there's not much left to figure out about them because they've been out for how long? I mean.
2 years.
Yeah,
2020 is when they introduced them.
2019 is what is the date that iRacing has on them. So maybe late 2019 or something is whenever they put them out.
Yeah, it was right when the new season for 20 started.
Yeah, so then they probably would have put them out a few months before that to test them and shake them down or whatever.
Yeah, because it was a new tire model, it was a new chassis model, it was a whole shooting match. So we had to learn everything all over again.
Yeah,
that's pain. That was a pain.
and I remember when the setup shops first came out and selling sets, and David Lamb was out selling sets with Rocket, and I think Ken said originally started with him. I can't remember, but David was a great B builder, and he figured a lot of the stuff out with the B car before other people did. And I started buying his sets at Rocket, and then he invited me to the team. His sets took me from like 3,000 to 4,000 pretty quick, and I was doing good.
With a lot of enemies behind you.
Yeah, I had a lot of enemies back then, but that's back when Ron Walsh called me the snowplow.
I'll say, is that when you got the snowman?
Yeah, that's when I was the snowman. That's when I was the snowman. I was plowing through people. But anyway, point is that Lamb was figured a lot of that stuff out. And I remember some of the teams that were doing real good. I was beating some of them for the first time at some of these tracks. And I remember Lamb telling me that he saw some of these guys going and buying the sets after I beat them. And and that was kind of interesting time because Lamb was figuring, and a lot of these teams were mad because these setup shops were figuring this stuff out, like Lamb and a couple of the other ones, and they were out there selling it so everybody could have it. And it was what you're talking about. So now all the sets are either equal, or in fact, some of these guys were going to buy a set that was faster than what these guys were putting all this time into building, because they were finding the new stuff with this newer car and then selling it and releasing.
Well, you helped Pay to Win get their nickname to Pay to Wreck, all right?
Yeah, I guess. But anyway, but all I'm saying is that's been the complaint. And now the B car is so flushed out. Most of the guys are building are doing a lot of the same things. It's getting pretty cookie cutter. And so now we felt like people will blame it on like the COVID, a bunch of rush of people coming in during COVID, which has been several years now.
COVID babies.
Yeah, a lot of us I was one of them. And I've been on iRacing for 2.5 years now or more, but so that's really not an excuse anymore. But I think it's coming down to what you're talking about. The car's set up, everybody's got it tuned in now. That a lot of the setups are pretty equal, and it's just, it's turning into some crap.
If you look at it, that's what NASCAR wanted. NASCAR wanted a car. You got bolt-on parts, right? They buy the parts from somebody. They're all bolt-on. You don't change it. The only thing you can change is caster, camber, toe. I think all you can change on. So the small teams should be competitive with the big teams, and that's what we're seeing here in iRacing. The setups are getting easier and easier to make once you understand.
But the car craft's not there. Their car craft's not there.
Yeah.
Racecraft. That's the problem.
Oh, racecraft. Yeah,
but that's the problem with all the wrecking.
Yeah, because the driver. It should be a driver issue, not a. I can't afford to buy these parts. I can't afford the top-notch engineer.
Hey, they needed to make the racing cheaper. Have you been watching these NASCAR races?
I know.
I mean, there's just stupid amounts of wrecks. I couldn't imagine being a team owner, Bob. I mean, I just see millions of dollars every race just getting flushed down the toilet. They're wrecking these cars like they're toys. I mean, I have a hard time watching these. I'm like, that's no cleaner than iRacing. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
half the drivers on there are on iRacing.
Yeah, they are. One of the ideas that Tom and I had when we took off with this thing was, if we gave everybody, as many as we could, a decent setup, because iRacing was not putting out good setups on the stock setups, and even Matt said it in one of his chat rooms. No, and I used to give him a bad time on my YouTube channel, and he even said one time on the next gen car, he goes, that setup is terrible. Oh, you know what? I fell back to my old ways, and it's a Gen 6 setup in there. So yeah, it doesn't work. But if more people had a good setup in a race, you have less wrecking, you have more clean races. Why can't we let's make that happen? So everybody in the race, we go to a race, probably half the field would be Buster Buddies, we call ourselves, or Buster Buddies.
I know you guys got paint jobs that people can download. You get the whole look and feel over there.
Some guy jumped in there and said, here's a whole bunch of paint jobs. They're all the same design with different colors. And it's all got Buster's Corner on it. But that was the idea. So if everybody has a decent setup, we'll have a decent, clean, respectful race. The whole game's gonna be a lot better.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants.
That was the idea. That was the fundamentals of it. So, but now you got the guys that still like to wreck.
Yeah, really. So
is it Ray Barcombe that runs your colors? I think, is it Ray Barcombe?
Yeah,
yeah. I've seen him.
Barrett race cars. No. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Ray. Ray does run our colors. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've known him from a long time because he built his own sets in A Open a long time ago.
Yeah.
And
Great guy. Great guy.
yeah, he is. He absolutely is. The guy's good for the sport. That's for sure. He'll get your name out there. But he had a nice looking car. I think it was some type of fluorescent red or orange or something. It was pretty bright, but it looked really nice.
Yeah. Ray, if you don't know Ray, if you do know Ray, listening to Ray laugh should on everybody's bucket list. The guy's got the best laugh I've ever heard. The guy just cracks you up when he laughs. I'm just saying. If you know Ray,
yeah,
you gotta listen to him laugh.
Yep.
Yeah, Trace, I tell you what, Bob, Trace we're getting to come up on the midnight hour, and I know Trace got to get up and work in the morning. All of our podcasts lately have been real fun. We lose track of time. We can just sit and talk about this stuff all night long, but we do need to wrap it up. But Bob, I want to give you one last opportunity to tell everybody how to find you guys on Discord. If there's a website they can go to, or what to search for on Facebook or YouTube, whatever, how to find you, and give everybody an invite over to your guys.
Yeah. Thanks. Go to YouTube, search Buster's Corner, and our videos are in there. At the bottom of the video is all the links to all of our places that we go to. You can also search us on Facebook, Buster's Corner, and climb into there. If you go through the Facebook page, all the links are on the Facebook page. It's probably easier to run through the YouTube channel and find them on there. But yeah, come join us, hang out. I mean, it's just a place to hang out, and we probably have maybe a dozen guys that really talk, and another 600 people that just watch, listen, and do their own thing. So you can do anything, participate, run hot laps for us, run testing laps for us, or just hang out and learn something.
Yeah. And you can get you a solid base next gen set to build off of, or to learn something, with, and be a little more stable and competitive on the track. And you can get you a Buster's Corner paint job over there.
And you get the free paint job. That's right.
There you go.
No refunds. I'm not refunding. That paint job's free too.
That's going to be Bob's new slogan. You need to put on all your logos. Buster's Corner, no refunds.
No refunds, man. No refunds. Tom was very adamant about that. We started this. I said, Tom, you can make some money if you do this. Nope. It's all free. There's no refunds. If they don't like it, I don't got to hear about it.
Hey, well, that's what Ricky Thompson said. Is the reason he didn't charge for Stent Analyzer is because he didn't want to have to hear about complaints. He's like, if you charge somebody $1, they're gonna expect something from you. He's like, but if I give it to him for free, he goes, what are they going to complain about?
That's what Tom said too. I love Ricky and that Stent Analyzer. I love that Stent Analyzer. That's awesome.
Well, only a software engineer and an IT professional would have that attitude, because I have it too. It's like once you help somebody, like I helped the guys on the team, and Tracy got him a new computer. Well, we built it here a while back, and I showed him all the parts to order. He got it in. I helped him put it together. I helped him install Windows on it and get it all set up and everything. And so now I own that, right? So like anytime Tracy's got a problem, I'm his guy he comes to. So only a tech guy knows that once you charge something, or once you help somebody put something together, now you are permanently responsible for it for the rest of its life.
That's right. You're responsible for mine as well.
Yeah, and Robert's as well. I helped us as long as their computers live. I'm their permanent tech support person. So yeah, only a professional IT person would get that attitude. I'm not charging them nothing because I don't want to own it. I'm not responsible.
Oh, I hear you. I know that feeling too much.
Hey, Bob, it's been great having you, Bob.
Thanks for having me, guys.
And we definitely wanted to have you on at some point and talk about what y'all are doing over there. It's so similar to what we're doing, and we want to help the community. So appreciate you coming on. Robert Cook, the #1 team driver, man, the myth, the legend. You got any words of wisdom of our sage, our old age?
All I'm saying is great.
Being your #1 team driver, any words of wisdom for everybody as we end the podcast tonight?
All thing I'm saying is great. What Bob and the other people are doing is there's free setups out there, and good ones. Go and check them out. Yeah,
that's right. I'm gonna end the night with giving the Admiral Tracy Rumschlag the mic and the floor here. Trace, what do you got for parting words for everybody tonight?
Well, first off, I want to thank Bob for stopping over. Obviously, I mean, it's great to hear somebody else's views on the same thing that we all love, we all share, which is iRacing and sim racing. So thank you very much. Thank your brother as well for the amount of time that you guys put together and you put into this. It's your stuff is good. It's really good. We're subscribers, so we stop over from time to time, check out what you're doing. Yeah, other than that, that's pretty much all I've got too. Enjoyed the show. Once again, it was fast. Another fast 2 hours. So we look forward to the next week too.
Yeah, it's been fun, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I think I'm gonna run 38 races at Richmond this week.
Yeah, we need to have Stephen Harry on to ask him how do you find the time to do that, dude?
All I can say is watch where you pass.
Yeah, really. Well, guys, there's nobody here at Area 51, I think, that had the kind of time to run 38 races this week or any week anymore.
Except Scotty.
Live. Wow. That takes some dedication to iRacing. But yeah. So, guys, we appreciate having Bob here. Bob, thank you very much for coming on. It's Bob, the creator, the co-creator with his brother Tom there for Buster's Corner. Go check them out on Discord and YouTube. Go be a part of their community if you're looking for a home. I know I see guys every once in a while that say they're looking for a team when I'm on the track with them. And so not necessarily a team, but the idea of looking for a community. Sometimes that's even better than looking for a team. Look for a community. Bob and Tom are offering that for you guys over there at Buster's Corner. So go and check them out. You might find a great home for yourself. Thank you so much for being here for the Alien Factory podcast weekly, Sunday nights at 10 p.m. We have wrapped up another one. Can't believe that it's over so fast. As Tracy always points out, these things fly through. So we wrapped up another Alien Factory podcast. This was episode number 15 with special guest Bob Hogue of Buster's Corner. And guys, thank you, the viewers, for joining in. We appreciate that. We've had over 43 viewers for this podcast while it was live, and we usually double or triple that in the day or two after. So we appreciate all you guys coming for this great content that we're putting up, and we will continue bringing it to us. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. is the B Open. That's Xfinity Open Strength of Field race. We're broadcasting that here with myself, Tracy Rumschlag, Robert Cook, and Scooter Scotty Stevens will be your broadcasters for that tomorrow night.
Be at Richmond.
If you have not done so yet, just ask you hit that subscribe button down below. We appreciate that very much. Every subscription counts and helps us towards our goal. The bell icon gets you notified anytime we put up any great content here on the channel or anytime we go live as well. And down in the description below, it's like the comments on the setups. You always read the comments. We'll always check out that description down below. We got tons of cool goodies for you guys. We got that affiliate link to Major's Garage. In full disclosure, we get a small commission on your first month subscription there at Major's Garage. Plus, they have awesome baseline setups you can build off of if you want to learn to build your own sets. Then we have a OS Racing, old school racing, osracing.net. You can get free oval setups for asphalt and dirt. There's a link to Edwards Setup Shop we were talking about earlier. They have a great community as well, and they have setups for just about everything in iRacing, community supported, all free. They have a few staff builders, but they don't get paid, but a few in-house builders, and they also have community uploads where you can upload your setups in Discord there for everybody to share. So great community there at Edwards Setup Shop. They have like 2,700 or so members, maybe 2,000 by this point, members in their Discord community. It's very active. Check out Edwards Setup Shop. And lastly, Jeff Maconi at Maconi Setup Shop give you guys a 10% discount. That is not area code. That's promo code. That's promo code Area 51 at checkout. Area, the number 51, no space at checkout. Get you 10% off at Maconi Setup Shop for non-subscription purchases. The subscription is already heavily discounted. So any non-subscription purchase for a setup, single setup, coaching, I don't know how it works for merchandise as well, but anything that's not a subscription in Maconi Setup Shop, Area 51 at checkout gets you 10% off. So guys, that's everything down in the description. Always check that out. All kind of goodies for you guys. So that's everything we have for this broadcast. Thank you very much for being with us. And as always, we will see you in the next one.